Hi everybody, and welcome to the Livestream Primer. In this show, I'm going to teach you all about the livestream and explain how everything in the community works. Asmongold gave you a really good primer on how the game works, but this show is about how the community works. Now this man in the top left is Stephen Sharif. He's the CEO and creative director of the game. He's the money. He's the guy making the game. To his right is his friend Jeffrey Bard. Jeffrey is his number 2, his right-hand man. If Stephen is Picard, then Jeffrey is number 1. The lovely lady in the bottom is Margaret Crone. She is the community marketing manager. I'm not sure what she markets. We don't have any merch. They used to have merch in the old days, and it kind of looked like this. Well, this is what it looked like. This is a very old video that I made a long time ago. And as you can see, it's very generic. So the reason they don't have merch anymore is because Stephen said he wasn't happy with the quality of the products. And as you can see, it's pretty basic. Just your t-shirt, your mouse pad, a very controversial hat. A lot of people freaked out about the hat because it says, "Make MMOs great." And it looks like a political hat. You know the one I mean? So some people loved it and thought it was a funny joke, and some people hated it. That may have played part of the reason why the merch doesn't exist anymore. The official version is they didn't like the quality of the product. And yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, there's no keychains or coloring books or Funko Pops or anything. But the unofficial version is they took it down because there was a lot of pushback from the community saying that it was a cash grab. This game has been accused of being a cash grab ever since the beginning, and it isn't one. I've been here since the beginning. It's not a cash grab. These are the monthly cosmetics. They've been putting out cosmetics in the cosmetic shop ever since the very beginning. This has also been accused of being a cash grab. I have every single cosmetic store item in a playlist that you can watch after this if you'd like. The way the cosmetics work is, think of them like pajamas that you put on top of your character. It doesn't change your character or give you any buffs. It doesn't give you, plus 10 armor or plus 10 magic defense. It's just like a pair of pajamas. It just goes on top and it looks good. So in the live stream, they talked about this. The particle effects. As you can see, these are the different effects that they have in the game when people use magic or weapons or whatever. So this is also controversial because some people think it's too over the top. They don't like all the explosion and colorful effects, and they think it's kind of overwhelming. They kind of want to dumb it down. I do not agree with that. I like the colorful explosions and stuff. But on the other hand, this game is going to have 250 people fighting against 250 people at the same time. Imagine how many colorful explosions that's going to be. It's going to be like oh my gosh, getting stuck in the middle of the 4th of July or something. Stephen has addressed that he's going to turn it down during these huge battles, and there's going to be settings that you yourself can tweak in the game to turn it down if you want. I'm not going to turn it down. Maybe just a little. It all depends on what it looks like, but I think it's going to be awesome. I want the gigantic explosions. If you have epilepsy, you may want to turn it down. But other than that, I don't really know unless you want to have a very boring game. Something that Stephen has done since the very beginning is to keep up with all the NVIDIA and graphics cards updates. So when he first started making this game, there was no ray tracing. It had not been invented, but now it does exist. And look at this guy with the golden effect around him. Look at the shadows on the floor. Do you see how the shadows do not fade away? I'll slow it down here. The shadows do not fade away because this light is not really there. It's just on top of whatever's there. It's like putting a sticker of light on top of a shadow. That is not ray tracing. That is the opposite of ray tracing. The game will have ray tracing, and these shadows will fade out when the burst of light appears. Like the light is really there. That's going to be really cool. They don't do it right now because this is a work in progress, and they're still working on it, and they're still building it. They're just testing it out. Now take a look at these horses. See how they're moving side to side and backwards and forwards? Back in the day, this did not happen. The horses did not look like this. See how they can jump and everything now? Well, when the game first started coming out, the horses didn't do any of this. Here's me riding my horse in the lower left corner. That's my horse Nutmeg in the corner there. And as you can see, all Nutmeg can do is basically just run. And he doesn't really run that good, poor guy. He's seen a lot of battles in his time. He's kind of wonky. His legs hurt. He's battle weary. But that's all he could do is just run. Compare that to the white horses in the video, and you can see the white horses are more realistic. Now they have the same mannerisms as horses. They twitch their tails and stuff like that. They're a lot more realistic. So when people in the community see these advances, it makes us really excited and we like it. In the live stream, they also showed us some of the gathering skills. Someone's cutting down a tree here. We've seen that before, but I like the way the tree falls down. It doesn't just disappear. I find that satisfying. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. They've also, in the past, they've shown themselves gathering rocks and mining. And I think here he's going to gather some plants. So in the game, like every other MMO, they're going to be gathering plants and herbs and things for potions, mining rocks for weapons and ores and different things, chopping down trees for wood and furniture. There's going to be a very diverse and robust gathering system in the game. It's going to be about like half of the game. It's going to be really good. Now, another thing we saw in the live stream is a dungeon. See this dungeon? Do you like it? Does it look cool? You like it, right? Look at the way the dungeon used to look in the old days. Maybe, I don't know, a year ago? See how the graphics are flat, not three-dimensional? It doesn't look like a real place. There's some kind of atmosphere and fog and stuff, but it looks completely different than the dungeon we have now. The dungeon they just showed us looks like an actual place that exists in the real world. It has depth to it. There's more textures. It has ambiance. The lighting is in there. Look at the floor. Look at the size compared to the claustrophobic feeling of the original. So a lot of advances have been made since the game first began. And when the community sees that, it gets us all excited and stuff because you can see that the game is coming together. It's being made. It's being expanded. All the stuff that they start with is being upgraded. And that's the process that people can't figure out, you know. They see the stuff and they say, oh, this is the final version, and then they freak out. No, it's not the final version. We're not even in Alpha 1 yet. They're still making the game, and look how gorgeous it looks. Look at it. And you can also see the horses and everything. All the different things they're working on everything. And when they show these live streams every month, it's an update to what they're doing. Here's some dinosaurs attacking. Now you'll be able to ride these dinosaurs. One of the cosmetic items in the past was a dinosaur skin called the Swift Claw. I'll show that to you in a second. Let him get around this corner so we can see the dinosaurs. Okay, see those dinosaurs? This is a skin that they had in the past called the Swift Claw. Now, why are there dinosaurs in here? No one has figured out. We don't know. Are the portals time portals? We don't know. Where did the portals go? They go to a planet called Sanctus. But were there dinosaurs on Sanctus that made it back? We don't know. It's a mystery. The lore in this game is very mysterious. They're not letting out a lot of lore. They're just letting out teasers. And sometimes when they let out lore, they say, oh, that's not the real lore. It's just flavor text. So really, no one knows the true story of the lore. There's a lot of speculation on it. In the live stream, they also showed us the environment. Now, a lot of people in the environment have their favorite developers. Michael Bacon, he's the greatest environment artist ever. We love him. This is a new person called Jim Sanders. He just started working at Intrepid, and he's the guy who made this waterfall here. That's his picture right there. Now, in previous live streams, Steven has been really good about showing us the developers and then showing us their work, what they did. And he gives them credit, which is something really cool that Steven does. That's really cool, to give the people in the back that never get any kind of glory, the glory they deserve. You know, it's always the people in the back who do all the hard work, but it's the people in the front that get the glory. And I really like the way Steven brings the developers out and showcases their work. However, he's not doing that anymore because other game studios have started to try to steal his people. They see how good his developers are, and they try to steal them from him. I never knew that the video game industry was so weird like that, so cutthroat. This is Mia. She gets mentioned. I'm not going to tell you her last name. She gets mentioned in the show. I'm not going to tell you her last name because somebody might try to steal her away. Isn't that weird? I never knew video games were all like cutthroat like that and stuff. I thought they were cool people. I didn't know it was all like, I'm going to steal your people from you and make your game crash and stuff. Anyway, look at the things, the coral and things that Mia made. Beautiful, organic looking. Looks realistic to me. Looks very good. Here's another developer. And this artwork was done by Ricky. I'm not going to tell you his last name, even though it's funny. But he drew all these Dunier buildings. These are concept art. This is not the actual building. I'll show you some actual renders, 3D renders in a little bit. And you'll see that the 3D renders are really good. Anyway, this is concept art. The Dunier dwarves are dwarves, and they live in the mountains, and they mine for stuff in the mountains, just like you would expect a dwarf to do. Now, in the live stream, they also showed us this man running into the ocean and swimming underwater. I think this has something to do with the Nakua dwarves. Nakua dwarves are also dwarves, but they live in the islands. They're like surfer dwarves. Yes. And I think they're going to be mining and harvesting crystals off the ocean floor, because they are dwarves, so they need to mine something. Now, in the live stream, they also showed us a lot of concept art, which is something that they usually do. And then they show us the 3D renders later. So this gray man is a 3D render, but he hasn't been colored or texturized yet. Here's some armor that they showed us in the past, and you can see with the colors and the textures on it that it looks really good. It looks very realistic and original. And they're showing us more of this armor that hasn't been colored yet. This is something they usually do in the live streams. Now, I'll show you a comparison of the concept art against the 3D render. Look at this gauntlet. The concept art is on the left, and the 3D render is on the right. It looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? Only better because of the lighting and stuff. And they made the forearm protector a little bit longer. This is a dwarf accessory. Dwarves wear these, but anyone can wear it. We don't know what that symbol means, but we think that that orange stone comes from a creature named a quoir. They say they harvest the stones from the quoirs, but they don't hurt the quoirs. Then here's some other animals and things. So they talked about this ogre that we've seen him in the past, but see that white stuff that appears when he takes a swipe? That was not in the version that we saw. That's brand new. That like the air movement. And that adds more realism and excitement to the game. In the live stream, they usually show us animals. And here's a ram. On the bottom left is the 3D render. And the thing that's moving, it has all the colors and textures on it. And the animators animated it. Look how it's all jumping around and stuff. The ram was made by Carson. He's another developer favorite. There's Carson. He started out as a weapons artist making weapons, but he was so good they gave him a promotion. And now he's doing animals. And he also made that wagon that you're looking at. I think that's called the Ramstone wagon or something like that. And there's the concept art for the wagon. Pretty accurate, pretty good depiction of it. Brad is the animator guy. I think they have a couple more. Look at this creepy spider. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. That is some creepy stuff right there. I did not want to see that in the game. It's creepy. So this creepy spider was made by Jinsey. This is what she looks like. She doesn't like to be on the camera, which I understand because I don't like to be on the camera either. But she is also a favorite of the community. She used to work for different movie studios, making effects for movie studios. And now she's working for Ashes. Look at those creepy spiders. Oh my gosh. And here's the spider in action, in combat, fighting somebody. That's creepy. Anyway, this is the community and everything that you've missed out on if you haven't been watching the live streams. Now, they usually do the live stream during the last week of every month. If you go to the website here, ashesofcreation.com, you can post your questions and they answer the questions at the end of the show. If your question has already been asked a million times, they'll answer your question right there on the forums or point you somewhere where you can go to look up the answer if it's a complicated question. If it's an original question, they answer it on the air, on the show. So to sign up, you go to ashesofcreation.com and you use my referral code if you would. It never expires, don't worry. And that gives you access to a bunch of stuff. It gives you access to the cosmetic store, the forums, the questions and answer section, all the blog posts that they do every once in a while explaining stuff. It gives you access to a whole bunch of stuff, but you're not committed to anything. So it's a really good place to get more information about Ashes of Creation. Also, don't forget to join the Discord. There's a lot of leaks and stuff that happen in the Discord. Sometimes Steven will go on there and leak some pictures or breaking news that you can't get anywhere else. And don't forget to follow Ashes on Twitter, because leaks and contests and coloring books, all kinds of fun stuff happens on Twitter as well. And now you should be all caught up on the live stream. You should know who the people are, how it works, what goes on, and you're ready for the next one. If you've enjoyed watching this video, feel free to subscribe and tune in next week, because I'll have more things to tell you about in the next show.